Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of KG Physique. Today, I'm going to talk about for people who want to go onto testosterone and what your first cycle should be like. So, if you remember from my last episode, it's on my channel. Do watch it if you can and subscribe as well. I spoke about what you need to do before you even think about getting on your first cycle. So, things like your lifestyle, your blood test, what blood tests you need to do, what your lifestyle should be like, what you need to do to really prepare before you take on any really steroid, and not just steroid, even a peptide for that matter. You really need to be able to be living the life before you think of going on to any kind of anabolic steroids or peptides. So I've gone through that in my first video. This one, I'm going to be a little bit more specific on what you need to do to start testosterone. So people in India, मुझे पता है वहाँ पे ज़्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन है नहीं. अगर आप लोग पंजाब में रहते हो तो शायद ज़्यादा होगा, बट और मे बी मुंबई दिल्ली वहाँ पे होता है ज़्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन है, बट आई थिंक मोर डाउन साउथ या इन एनीवेयर बिलो मुंबई रियली बहुत इंफॉर्मेशन तो है नहीं स्टेरॉइड्स के बारे में. लोगों को पता भी नहीं है. लोगों को लगता है कि बहुत ऐसा इट्स अ pretty bad thing. I think people associate steroids with drugs like heroin and ice and whatever else, and mainly just knowledge near or education near. So I thought I want to at least give you some information on what it's like for bodybuilders to go on steroids. The most basic stuff that you can do. I'm not talking about hardcore stuff that your IFBB pros and things like that do. I'm talking about literally just the basic to get on. And for lifestyle builders, मुझे ऐसा लगता था पहले कि in order to go on steroids you have to be a competitor, like एक IFBB जो भी दूसरे federations है, you should be a bodybuilder before you go on steroids. लेकिन ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. You'll see ऐसे बहुत influences है, बहुत ऐसे actors है जो roids पे जाते हैं to get in shape for a role, and then they stop, बंद भी करते हैं, and that's fine. Same thing, agar koi competitor nahi hai, but you just want to develop your physique, you're probably getting on with age, you might be in your, say, late 30s, early 40s, performance starts to drop a little bit, and you want to really start to improve your physique, improve your performance, improve your lifts, then yeah, there are a few things you can take that are safe, safe-ish. Nothing's 100% safe. Your entire life is not 100% safe. There's risks with everything. Which is why in my previous video I spoke about what blood tests you need to do and what you need to monitor before and during and after you go on cycle. So yeah, this is for those people who want to get onto any kind of drugs and then see what kind of progress you make from there. So before that, this is not a medical advice. I'm not a doctor, so I'm gonna flip on the medical disclaimer. There you go. See that? Read it. There you go. All right. So one of the things I'd said, and I want to reiterate this again, is your blood test that you need to do before you jump onto steroids. These are the markers you need to look at. Take a screenshot of this, go to your doctor and get it. जो आप लोग जो इंडिया में रहते हैं, it's a lot easier. आप डॉक्टर पास जाते हो, they tell them you want these blood tests. अगर वो कोई, I mean, you can get the blood test. अगर वो एक, if he's a very nosy kind of doctor जो wants to get into your business, then maybe you'll have a bit of an issue. It's not a problem. Go find somebody else. Yeah, see that pathology के पास जाके you can get these tests done. जो इंडिया से बाहर रहते हैं, Australia, Canada, US, a little bit harder. There are private places you can get blood test done in Australia. मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रहता हूँ. I do it privately. मैं GP के through जाता नहीं हूँ. मैं खुद पैसा भर के करता हूँ. And then you get your blood tests that are here. So this side, you get your blood tests that are here. You check it against the reference range, and then you make sure everything is perfect before you kick off. And then you check it at about 6 to 8 weeks during cycle, and then also after you finish your cycle, if that's a 14, 16-week cycle, whatever it is, to make sure that your everything is safe and you feel fine. So पहले जो steroid लेते, always your base is always testosterone. हमेशा testosterone होता है. It's never anything else. अगर कोई भी trainer आके tells you that start off with some other steroid, and I'm talking about bodybuilding. Yeah, sprinting. This is not about an athlete who is a sprinter. This is not about a football player, cricketer, yeah, कोई और sport. This I'm talking about proper bodybuilding, right? So bodybuilding में क्या है? You have to improve your strength, your power, your recovery, and of course this is along with the food that you eat. So it goes hand in hand in the sleep that you get as well. But basically, to improve your strength and to improve your performance in the gym and to improve recovery, which then in turn leads to um, being able to push more weight in the gym, create more damage in your muscle, eat the right food, and get bigger. That comes through testosterone. So, a number of studies have been done on the impact of testosterone on the male human body and the benefits of it. This is for people whose testosterone starts to drop after the age of 30, 35, but also people who are probably in their 20s, early to mid 20s, can also start taking test. The thing you have to watch out for is, like I said in my last episode, if you do start on test and you see the benefits of it and you're young, there is a chance you will be stuck on it for the rest of your life. There are ways you can mitigate it. You can stop your test, go on to HCG, etc., bring that back up. If you want kids, you can freeze your sperm before you go on testosterone, or you can then go on HCG after a cycle. It takes, I think, about 6 months to get your sperm count back. But there are these sort of risks that you need to be aware of before you sort of jump into just taking testosterone. If you're in your 20s or early 30s, mid 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, a lot easier because your test naturally starts to decrease. So because your testosterone naturally starts to decrease, your when you take testosterone from an exogenous source, which is through injections, it does improve your strength and your ability to recover as well. That's your main thing. As you get older, it becomes harder to recover. So testosterone helps you recover a lot quicker. You sleep better. This is the reason why men, when we sleep, we require less sleep than women because we recover faster. So we don't necessarily need more than 8 hours of sleep, but women might need a bit more because of lower testosterone count. And also, of course, why we lose fat faster and we put on muscle faster and we're generally stronger. So there are a number of studies done. Look, I can list a million of them, but there are a number of studies done where testosterone increases. If you look at the conclusions here, super physiological doses of test, especially when combined with strength training, increase fat-free mass, muscle size, and strength in normal men. I mean, this is one of them. There's millions of them, literally. A lot of studies that tell you about testosterone and the benefits of testosterone. So, what sort of dosing do you start then? I'm sure you guys are all asking. Anything that you take, and even a doctor will tell you about any medication that you take, that you must always start slow and then titrate up. At testosterone, depending on your age, you can always start at something like 100 or 150 and then titrate up after 4 to 6 weeks or 8 weeks even. Some people get benefit from 150 to 200 meg of test. Now, again, you can take testosterone propionate or enanthate, either one. Propionate is a shorter ester, enanthate is a longer ester. That's the only difference. Propionate you'll have to inject a bit more frequently, which means that your hormone levels stay a lot more stable than if you take enanthate probably twice a week, where it kind of goes up the day you take it, slowly it'll come down and then go up again. But if you take propionate and you inject yourself, say 4 or 5 times in a week, it's a lot more stable. There are some people who inject every day as well and still stay at that 200 meg of test in a week, which is pretty low. It's a low dose, it's a starting dose. And they inject themselves every week. So all they do is divide the 200 by 7, works whatever that works out to be. They inject that amount, either sub-Q or intramuscular, every day. The downside of that is, of course, that you're pinning yourself, rose injection linapetide. It's up to you whether you're comfortable with that or not. But you must inject, like cream or sub. Don't take the cream and there's an inhaling one and all. That's not good. You must inject. अगर मर्द है तो inject कर. Like, don't be a fag. You know, you can't. You're going to the gym. You want to get stronger. Like, just inject. You know, it's not that hard. We'll have to learn how to do that. Go to a doctor. Go to a nurse to teach you. Otherwise, watch YouTube and do it. I learned it off YouTube. I inject in my dorsal glute, shoulder, and ventricular glute here, and I rotate the sites. It's very simple. I take mine 4 times a week. but I'm on a couple of other things as well. But testosterone, 200 mg, I mean, generally propionate, you'll get propionate at about 100 mg per mil or enanthate at 250 per mil. So if you're taking enanthate at 250 per mil and you're doing that divided by 4 injections and you want only 200, it's not a lot of injection amount, that oil that you're injecting into you. Indiamica, it's the other benefit is that testosterone is found a lot easier. More than likely, testosterone बहुत easier मिलना. You just have to ask. Australia में strict rules बहुत strict है. It becomes a lot harder to get it here. थोड़ा UGL के through जाना पड़ता है, which is underground labs. Uh, People who are older like myself, I'm 45, so I can get it through a GP. Uh, but otherwise, it's difficult. You have to know the right people and you've got to get your sources right. There is a site I can tell you, anybody wants to know, just put in the comments and we can chat offline on DMs or anything on Instagram or whatever it is. And I can reveal a few sources. Some of them are pretty easy and straightforward. There are others that list it on their website. There are these top bodybuilders and influencers that put their source lists on their websites. It's not that hard to find. But I'm thinking in India, you should be able to find testosterone. I'll be very surprised if you can't find testosterone just off the in a pharmacy. And mostly people, they should probably give it to you, either enanthate or propionate, whatever you want. And then the syringes should be easy to find as well. And it's fairly simple. Any nurse can tell you, like you look at a gauge that's higher in number, so 26, 27, 1 inch over needle is enough. So you take a thicker needle to draw the liquid out, change the needle on top of the syringe, get a thinner needle, and then you inject with that. Very simple. Again, ask a nurse if you don't know. It's very simple to do. It doesn't even hurt that much. Sometimes you might pinch a nerve or something, but it's very rare. बहुत easy, honestly, बहुत easy करना, बहुत लोग करते हैं. It's really not that hard. One thing you have to know when you start to increase your testosterone, एक चीज important है, you must know your estradiol level. इसलिए हम लोग in the previous blood test that I put in, एक यहाँ पे एक है, if you look at it below, your testosterone estradiol level is very important. Yes, estrogen, sensitive estradiol. उसमें क्या है, when your testosterone goes up, it starts to aromatize into estradiol. And that also depends on your body fat percent. So if you're a fat fuck and you start taking tests and you don't change your diet and you're drinking alcohol and having a lot of sugar, the problem is that you will increase your estradiol and you will start to get gynecomastia in your chest. Your nipples will be quite sensitive as well. And you get extremely watery. So your face will get really big and you'll get kind of watery as well. It's not a good look. So make sure you check your estradiol levels, because once let's say you start on 150 or 200 mg a week, and then after 4 to 6 weeks you go on to 300 or 400, there is a chance some of that will convert to estradiol. So what do you do in that regard? That's when you start to look at introducing a aromatase inhibitor. So something like a primobolan. It depends. If you're bulking, primobolan is good. Primobolan is a steroid that will keep your estradiol in check, and you tend to work your testosterone and primobolan on a 1-to-1 ratio. So primobolan is methanolane, and you can get either enanthate or propionate. Methanolane, I can never pronounce it, methanolane. But primobolan, again, people will know what that is. Or you can have Masteron if you're cutting. Masteron is drostanolone. Again, that does the same thing. Masteron dries you out, so it's a very cosmetic steroid. You'll start to get really veiny and very dry. Not very good on your joints. Your joints might hurt a little bit. So primobolan is a preferred if you're bulking and you're doing high volume exercises. You're trying to push the weight. Masteron is good when you're cutting, whether you're cutting for summer or you've got a competition coming up or a photo shoot, whatever it may be. It's good for cutting. So both of those are aromatase inhibitors, and they help you control your estradiol levels. You also then have EQ and boldenone and all those, but testosterone and primobolan, that combination has one of the lowest side effects. And for lifestyle bodybuilders, that is amazing. That is the best. You don't need anything else. और कुछ जरूरत ही नहीं. Of course, you can take growth hormone ले सकते हो. Growth hormone is very expensive, but growth hormone ले सकते हो. NPP ले सकते हो, which is nandrolone propionate for your joints. Um, But testosterone and primobolan, if you're new to steroids and you're in decent shape, you're at around that 10, 11, 12% body fat, and you want to start to get really muscular, you want some 3D delts, some really thick chest, then testosterone and primobolan will keep you going and it'll get you in really good shape. So you don't have to stress too much about the rest. This is your safe zone. And again, as long as you do it properly, do not fuck up your diet, do not drink alcohol, do not take recreational drugs. You want to have one cheat meal, or even if you have one cheat day in a week, that's fine. But one cheat day, then go back onto your diet. Prioritize your protein, prioritize your carbs, prioritize your good fats. Get your food from nutrients dense foods, not from, bonbon biscuits and bhel puri and all this. Like, go eat proper food. Keep your protein high, keep your carbs relatively high as well, depending on how much exercise you're doing. And then make sure you do your fasted cardio first thing in the morning. All those things will keep you safe. अभी प्रीमोबोल एंड टेस्टोस्टेरोन कहाँ से मिलता है मैं बता सकता हूँ, but I can't ये YouTube वीडियो पे ऑफ कोर्स नहीं बता सकता. You have to message me privately, but easy है मिलना, easy है. Primobolan का shortage था last year. I think it started to improve now. Manufacturers है इंडिया में, manufacturers है चाइना में. You have to import it in. अगर चाइना से आती है तो I live in Australia. मेरा जो है सब आता है चाइना से ही आता है, most of it जो मेरा जो जिससे मैं खरीदता हूँ. So yeah, it's easy to find. But just remember, testosterone, enanthate, or propionate. Start at 150 per week. 150 mg per week. Do not go higher. Don't listen to anybody. Do not go higher. Just testosterone only. 4 to 6 weeks. Then you increase that. You can go, if you start at 150, you can go up to 250. Add primobolan. That's when you add primobolan. Again, 1-to-1 ratio. If you want, you can go 250 test, 200 primo, because they both come in 1 mil. So 250 milligrams per mil is testosterone enanthate in the vial. Primobolan is 200 milligrams per mil in the vial, generally, more often than not. Primobolan ज़्यादा नहीं होगा because it stings. 300 होता है तो it stings a lot. So generally it's 200 per mil. So you know that you have to take basically 2 mil worth of injections in a week, divided by say 4 doses if you want, 4 times a week. You know it's 0.5 of each. 0.25 of test, 0.25 of primo when you draw it in the syringe. 5 mil 4 days a week. Pretty easy to take. And then get your blood test. Make sure you get your blood test done again. So blood test before you start, blood test at 6 to 8 weeks, and blood test after 14 to 16 weeks, and then see how you go. It's very important to check your bloods and make sure nothing goes wrong. Anything goes wrong, you need to stop or make adjustments straight away. Do not let it drag out. All right, simple stuff. Questions, Putsna. Otherwise, make sure you please subscribe for the channel, like this video if you thought it's beneficial. Click on notifications so you get some notifications on when I release my next video. And yeah, look, if you have any questions, ask. ऐसे बहुत लोग हैं जो American bodybuilders है, influencers है, European है, Australian है. The reason I'm creating this channel ये Indians के लिए है, because our diet or lifestyle सब कुछ quite unique है compared to other people. So question पूछना है, ask me. I'm happy to answer those questions. I don't charge any money for this information. All I ask is just like and leave a comment for the algorithm, and hopefully this channel kind of picks up. But yeah, कोई question है पूछना. If you message me, I will send you contact details on Instagram. You can find me on kg_physique on Instagram. DM me there if you have questions. Sources, amounts, dosages, diets, जो भी है, just ask me. I'll give you the information. I don't charge any money for it. This is just something I do as a hobby. So जो पूछना है पूछ ले. And I will see you in another week's time. I'm going to now next one talk about the effects of growth hormone. I take growth hormone at 4 IU a day. It's fantastic. So yeah, I'll talk about growth hormone in the next video. And then maybe some other compounds as well as we build up. If there are any compounds you want me to talk about, whether it's peptides or steroids, just put it in the comments and I will do that as well. Until next time, bye.